Welcome to Chump Change, everybody, the post show where we talk about the truth behind the lies. And once again, we are joined by Barbara, Matt, Josh, and Jessica from the episode. And yeah, there actually wasn't a ton of lying on this show. I mean, the envelope game is where people throw lies out all the time. And we got 3 truths there. But
how unlucky for the contestant. My goodness.
It's not often. It really isn't often. And sometimes like that happens, and while I'm reading them, I'm like, oh man, I wonder if I should just switch them up right now so they have to lie. Because I like to make people lie when I can. But
keeps you on your toes.
You gotta have those. You gotta have those truth rounds in there every now and again just to keep people on their toes. So we want to hear a bit more about all of these scenarios. So I feel like we should hear about Jessica's last.
Makes
just like build it up.
Okay.
Let's go down the line. So Matt, we learned today that you finished 10th in your class and you stopped a robbery. Or a mugging, rather. Mugging, yeah.
It's the same thing, just light. Yeah.
Light. So were you with anyone when you were like in the town, or you were just like there by yourself?
No, it was kind of just one of those days where I had like a free period in college, and the town was like relatively close to where I went to college, so I just drove over there. And there's a cake shop that's like down kind of a back alleyway near the Riverwalk. I know, that's the most like me part of that.
Stereotypical Matt thing.
It really is, but they made really good red velvet cake. And I went there, got my piece, ate it in the shop, and then I was walking back to my car, and I saw like the woman getting mugged, and so I was just like, well, I could go back to my car, or I could stop it.
Be a hero.
Yeah.
So you took a swing, and then the guy.
Yeah, I hit him in the throat, and then he kind of like recoiled and freaked out and realized that someone was trying to stop him, and he ran away, and I chased after him, and that was like when I saw the cop that like saw him.
Man with cake on him.
I'll destroy you. I'm stronger now.
If it was red velvet, you probably just had red.
Yeah.
Red on his mouth and his teeth. So like when you said you chased after him, the police officer chased after him.
Yeah,
like,
he like
basically
when he ran past like out of the alleyway, there was like an officer like right there. It was like such a happenstance sort of deal. But he ran by, and then I was chasing him, and I was like, that guy mugging, and then like the officer's like, what? And then he ran after him. But yeah, he got caught eventually, I would assume.
It's crazy to me. The reason I didn't believe you is because like you were like, oh, it was some woman getting her purse, and I was like, that's so cliche that that's what it is. And there happened to be a cop down the street that like I was like, this seems all too convenient.
It definitely was one of those things where like it seems super convenient, but that area was relatively well patrolled because it was like right by the Riverwalk and a bunch of stuff, and yeah, it just happened that way. That shop was kind of secluded. So. Yeah, I took the purse, swung my way back, and
just take the payment. Goes and gets another piece of cake.
Yeah.
So, Josh, the door spree. So how many doors? Because you said it was over the course of a couple of months, right?
Yeah. I want to say, well, I feel like there's like 2 days to a weekend, right? It's like, well, let's say Friday, Saturday. So it's like, of course, after I'm done, with the week doing like all my classes and working on my biology degree, like I'm like, I want to unwind and let loose. So we have parties. Sometimes somebody has a beer pong table, sometimes somebody doesn't. So I think over the course of like a couple of months or so, like we took like 12 doors, and I started with my own because I didn't want to be an asshole, right?
Oh my God.
So like
Gosh.
we'd been at the apartments across the street, and it was like, oh, we need a beer pong table, because like somebody just brought in case after case of beer and stuff like that, and nobody had a beer pong table, so we were like playing on a crappy little like coffee table, and I was like, this is bullshit. I had a bright idea to run across to my apartment, across the street, take my door off, and as I'm like hauling it across like the street, like campus police comes and sees me, and I'm like, just like wave, and then I just keep going, and then like they don't stop me or anything like that. So I was just like, cool, I'll just keep doing that. So like every so often it'd be like, yo, we want to play beer pong, and they start playing on like the kitchen counter or something like that, because whatever. And I'm like, no, I got a better plan. And then I just go find a door. And like I think like 2 other people followed it. And I like to think that I started the chain of door rippers like at UTSA.
Are you sure you weren't 10th in your class too? That's a genius idea.
So you say door
Very
rippers.
genius.
Were you like popping the hinge out and then like taking it from there, or were you just like ripping a door off?
Jeremy, I'm going to answer that question with yes.
Okay. Got it. Understood.
Yeah.
Varying degrees. I also love the idea of like, we had so much beer and no place to play beer pong. Like the option of drink the beer was not
I
was
know.
You have to play beer pong, man. You have to win it.
You have to plug it into something, and then you do the
Yeah,
thing.
work
It's like,
for
okay,
it.
cool. Logistics.
beer tastes better when it's earned
Just
through beer.
That's too funny. Oh my god.
Okay, so here we are. Jessica.
Jeremy. Here we are. All right.
Let
let's
me
talk
find
about
where
it.
I've written this down again, because I was like, I love. Okay, so it could have been like kissed my cousin when I was a child, but it's not. It's kissed my cousin and then peed my pants when I was a child. So
Yeah, and you know, you're right. And I could have, and I actually didn't think about it. I just remember the story as a whole.
Right.
So I didn't even think, oh, I should just divide it up, you know, because it's all one story to me. But it was, I think on the show, I said, what did I say? Like 6 or 7 or something. At this point, definitely, I know I was definitely potty trained, but I was still very young. And our cousins, like it was Christmas Eve, and this was in New York, and like a bunch of our like little cousins were around, and we're all like, you know, you don't know, you're like friends then. And so I remember we went upstairs into like a dark room, and we just went like this, and we kissed. And I remember right after that, I just like started giggling, and I just peed my pants. And then I remember running down to my parents, telling them that I peed my pants.
But not the other part. Just to pee the pants.
I don't.
Well, yeah, you don't
if
want
I-
to get in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know if I told them that part, and I also didn't know if it was like right or wrong. I don't know. I was very young, so I didn't
When you're
know
that
then. I'm
young,
like, you know, I'm like, is this? I don't know what that means yet. But now
Yeah.
I do, and it's not right. You should not kiss your cousins.
if you take anything away from this episode of Chump and Chump Change, don't kiss your
Yeah.
cousins.
don't kiss your
Or if you
cousins.
do, go on a game show and tell a couple 100,000 people about it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Make that experience.
I don't feel yeah do what's best for you. No, I don't feel weird or bad about it because I was a child, so I don't like feel strange about it. If I was you know maybe like 13 or something, it'd be a little like concerning, I think.
We're getting into weird territory, right? And
I was 24. It happened.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago.
there's a graph of age and weirdness when it comes to kissing your cousin. Like that is a graph.
I was gonna
that you
make a
could show,
really
the
bad joke.
exponential. No.
What is
I don't know.
what
I
is
think
it,
there's
Barb?
probably a few spikes too.
I probably should
joke,
make this
Barb.
joke.
Do it.
Oh,
I mean, they already hate us anyway. I was gonna say, like, what Trump rally are you at when you kiss your cousin? Like, which one?
oh God. We're not.
I mean-
right? Yeah, we're not making friends at this
You're-
point.
You're not wrong.
I'm saying, if you're kissing cousins, there's a high percentage chance you've been to a Trump rally.
There's
This is
Oh,
some more
damn.
night. Yep. Woo!
Probably gonna
Yeah.
have to cut that part out. But
I
But,
want
yes.
a graph made and sent to me. If you're watching this episode of Chump Change, I want a kissing your cousin graph that is appropriateness and age. And then you just that's as the age goes up, you just see that start going down.
Yeah,
And that's right. I think there could be little spikes
There'd be
of like
spikes, yeah.
be spiked. Maybe at like 11, there's a little like, it's a little more okay, but then no, it's back down again. It's not all right. But
and then like 95, you know, spikes
and then
back
like
up again.
and then when you get really old and confused, it starts going back.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you're doing anymore.
Right, you don't know. You don't remember whether you're your cousin or not.
You know what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
You just like, look at that hot stuff, and you see them over there.
Yep.
Oh my god. What else did we talk about in the show? We talked about the 10th in the class, which is interesting.
10th
Matt,
in
did we ask
class.
how big was your class? Was that asked?
No. I think it was like under 120. Like, so really less impressive even when you look at it. But my class in our freshman year was the biggest class that county had ever seen, and we ended up with the smallest senior class. So the bar was lower than 10th, but
God damn.
yeah.
Listen, man, I was like smack dab in the middle of my graduating class, I think. So anything like 50 or above is impressive to me.
No, I used to be
I
smart.
don't even
but,
know.
Yeah, and that's the only reason I know is because I was top 10, and then that was it. Like they let the top 10 know, and everyone else they were like, "Don't worry about it. It's
right." Everyone wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's your
Yeah, there was
participation diploma.
There's definitely a point in high school where like I did care about grades a lot. And then there was like a plummet point, I feel like somewhere in sophomore year, I just like, it's never going to happen.
See, that's the thing. I never really cared. It kind of happened. And I guess I could have done better. I wasn't going to try to, though.
You weren't going to go for number one.
Yeah. I mean, that seems like a lot of competition. 10's fine. You're still in it, you know. They do a Watch Mojo list, and I'd make it. So
right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'd be the first one up. That's a great point. It's time to count down. Top 10 high school graduates in South Carolina in the year whatever. Number 10, Matt Bragg. Turn it off. Who cares?
I was nervous I was nervous you were gonna like drill me more, Barb, and I was like, how do I pretend that I'm smarter than I am? Like, you know, I had to like bullshit smartness, but you didn't ask any of those questions, so I was like, thank God, because you're gonna see right through me.
No, it was hard
You
for
were
me to
gonna
nail
know.
down
You're
what
like-
to ask for that one because I'm just like, I have no way to like. This is such an easy thing to lie about. I feel like because I didn't know any of you before working at Rooster Teeth, so I have no barometer for like your education level or anything like that. So I'm just like, cool. I believe it.
I felt pretty secure there because you don't know me before Rooster Teeth, but you do know me during. So I just assumed you'd be like, oh, well, no, can't be him.
Down.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Or, I mean, to make it worse, up.
Yeah,
who knows?
It's true. I mean, quality wise, yeah. Listen, intelligence is not.
Yeah, it's
needed.
all relative.
It's not required.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
When you're like, wow, that person's smart. It's like fun fact because you learn people are smart in Rooster Teeth. I feel like you don't learn people are dumb. You have like that.
You know that.
You
don't
go
learn
in
it.
expecting that.
We
and
all
then are
start at the
surprised by
bottom.
intelligence.
Right.
Yeah. Intelligence is like, well, that's a fun little thing I learned. They're smart. You know.
Yeah.
Move on with your day.
Or
but
again,
that was
used to be smart.
Right. Oh,
Used
that
to
one
be.
was smart. Yeah. That's even better. Thanks again, all of you, for showing up, telling us your stories for that episode of Chump. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you for being a first member. And make sure to tune in next week. There will be another episode of Chump Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central Time, where you can play along live and more Chump change after the fact. And then I think we might be taking a week off after that because it's the 23rd. It's about Christmas time, but I'll tell you next week when I'm more certain. Thanks again. Have yourselves a good night. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.